Slay the Spire before. I know nothing about it. I don't know what kind of game it is. There's some cards on the box art from when I added the thumbnail, but that's the extent of my knowledge about it. So I'm excited to check it out. I've had a couple people say they think that I'll dig it. Thanks, Kai Mom. I might more aggressively use the hint page in the future if I get stuck like that. I appreciate that you enjoy my suffering. This all looks good. Controller works. Standard. Embark on a quest to slay the Spire. Daily climb. Oh, is this kind of like a roguelike then? Ironclad. Remaining soldier of the Ironclad. Soul to soul to harness demonic energies. Okay. Oh, set seed. It must be roguelike. Exordium. Huh. Guess it doesn't particularly matter which one I pick. Defeat enemies by playing cards from your hand. Cards require energy to play. Once you're out, end your turn. Okay, so it's kind of like Gilded Engineering. Play defensive cards to gain block when enemies are about to attack you. Block reduces incoming attack damage, but wears off at the start of your next turn. During your turn, you can observe an enemy's intent above them. Oh. That's cool. Okay. They show you enemy intent. That's cool. I think I understand what I should have been doing there. So it's saying it's going to use a spell on me. Oh, but I didn't. It wasn't a spell that was on me. The next turn's going to be a spell on me. Okay, I get it. Apply 2 vulnerable. I like the simple stats on this stuff. A second ago, it told me what those items do. How do they work? Or how do I get the pop-up that tells me what something does? What button is that? Yeah, it just displayed automatically when I first tried to use the card. Try it next time. Not enough energy. Okay, got it. So I'm going to take a bunch of damage from that. Is it designed for keyboard mouse? No more cards to draw. Your discard pile is shuffled into the draw pile. I'll try keyboard mouse. So that costs 1. Gotcha. Then I can defend. This game is really cool. I like the concept. Cutting open a sock and taping it in front of the fan port. Nice job. So if I hover over vulnerable, that's how I can see what it does? Or no? Looks like hover doesn't work. I can hover over this. I just like to know for the future, basically. Cool, poison potion, add a card to your deck. Sword boomerang. I like the UI of this game too. Deal damage equal to your current block, that's cool. Cool design space. Anytime you do cards, it's really easy to see the design space. Damage to all enemies, that seems useful. Drink or throw potions during combat. Maybe that's what balances combats in my favor a little bit. Now, is my deck getting larger all the time? Or no? I probably want to get some kind of buff in the future so that that's not wasted. Negative effect on you and attack for 7 damage. Does your deck get very large eventually? I assume you're still drawing randomly. You don't want your deck to have too many cards in it, right? Can you choose not to take cards? I can finish it. Oh, but I'm out of energy. Great. Something I did must have cost 2 without me seeing it. Less damage. Okay. Slimed. Ah. That's cool. So they're taking the Rocket Bash cost 2. It's good to know. Taking advantage of the design space of putting crap in your hand. Gain exhaust. Okay, so that pays for itself. It's like a ramp. Gotcha. Seems pretty good for 1. Okay. No reason to skip stuff, I guess. Do you end up reshuffling stuff? Yeah, per combat still seems pretty good. This game's still in alpha, it's not done yet. Oh yeah, no, I would totally skip cards, especially in the early games, so I don't put a bunch of crap in my hand. Makes sense to me. Two vulnerable means that they're vulnerable for 2 turns? Okay. Guess the thing he's doing is not... Tends to block and use a buff. Okay. So may as well attack that turn. I like that they project their intent. That's cool. Attack damage by 3. Tends to attack for 14 damage. Let's kill him before that happens. Should be able to. 18, right? Oh, wait, no, because he blocked. Right. But I dismissed the block, so I should be able to win now. Gotcha. Did content rather than features. Power cards. Applies a power to you when used. Powers are passive abilities that remain for the duration of combat. Oh, that's cool. At the end of your turn, lose 1 HP and deal 5 damage to all enemies. Am I only recovering a little bit in between combats? Upgrading a card makes them more powerful. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so it's a cantrip, it replaces itself and it's free. Okay, so it's the I have a card that I don't want this turn, but I want next turn. Wonder why they called that War Cry. In that case, I feel like the flavor doesn't agree as well with the mechanic. It looks like they did bottom up in a lot of cases here. Try armaments. Unknown. What's up? 8 damage to... Oh, Ironclad's special thing is regaining health at the end of combat. That makes sense. I'm vulnerable. His vulnerable is worn off. Gotcha. Inflict a powerful negative effect on you. Now, is it always going to say powerful, or is there something about the pop-up that suggests it's going to be powerful? It'll save armaments until I need it. Can get value out of it. It always says that. Okay. Cannot play attacks for 1 turn. That's cute. But in your hand, it reshuffles every turn. So that's where I would have used War Cry to save it to the next turn. Pink Swirl suggests powerful. Affected Strike deals 6 damage, deals an additional +2 damage for all of your cards containing Strike. Now, does that mean all of my cards that are in my entire deck, or they're in my current hand? Bludgeon deal 32 damage, 3 energy. Deck? Oh, that's cute. So you try to... Roguelike deck building is a really neat idea. I'm trying to think of another game is really... I guess Guild of Dungeoneering is kind of similar. But there's more stuff that you're building outside of the dungeon itself, but this is kind of combining drafting with card combat. That's pretty cool. I like it. Okay. Let me try it. Because why not? Lies an elaborate shrine to a forgotten spirit. Upgrade a card. I don't know why I would say no. Now, upgrade just changes the value on the card, I assume? Probably. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Cute. Now, why would I want to fight a monster instead of going to a question mark and potentially get something better? 18 damage, holy shit. For loot. Certainty. Give me some of that AoE that I spent money on. It's not my best AoE. Unfortunately, it only costs 1 though. Deal 4 damage. Because of weaken. Gross. Okay. Guess I can kill this thing for sure and then try to block. Could also spend 2 blocks on that turn and hope for more AoE the next turn. Mm-hmm. Cool. Alright, I took a lot of damage that time, but I'm getting it. Exhaust all non-attack cards in your hand, just means that they'll never draw again. That's actually really good. It's like Dominion, right? Trashing cards is incredibly powerful in this sort of a game. I don't even think that that's a downside, depending on what you draw with it. 5 block. So your hand is cycling in this game, like a game like Dominion, it sounds like. Add a copy of this card to your discard pile, but it's free. I see. So this starts off kind of good in the early game, but later on you don't want a shitload of angers. I'll try to take a Sever Soul. We have a potion. Oh, rest. Cool. It depends on... Can I see what my entire deck is at any given time? Is that what this does? Yeah. So, like, I'd want to dump a lot of my strikes to get access to my better attacks, and if I get better blocks in the future. I look at these strikes and defends as, like, coppers, basically. Remove a card from your deck. Hell yes. Cool. Yeah, that's a neat way to incentivize you to not get rid of your crappy strike cards, but I'd still rather have a sleeker deck than just take on a bunch of bullshit just so that one card that I might not draw is good, you know? So, I can do both of these, or I'm choosing between smithing and resting. I like to smith and then rest, but it seems like it might be a choice in case you don't need the rest. That's a cool mechanic. I like that. So if you get here at full health, it's not a wash. Nice. Mercury Hourglass. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Ooh. Relics grant unique bonuses. I really... Whoever said they thought I might like this game, you're spot on. I like this game a lot. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. Okay. I like having it be just the starting relic is what defines a character more than almost anything else, it seems. Smith. Let's start upgrading our shitty strikes, maybe? Because it only costs 1, so not super great. Block. 10 damage. Okay, so sometimes you'll upgrade a card and nothing will happen. Good to know. 20 damage with Sever Soul. 11 to all enemies. I want that. Oh, I didn't see any color changes. Did the actual text of the card change? I assumed upgrade just meant that a number value would go up. Oh, maybe it just didn't show it. 7 damage and vulnerable 1 to all enemies. 16 damage. Inflict. Okay, gotcha. Sometimes the value goes up. Now, is the upgrade state for every card just every card in the game has an upgraded version that maybe changes the text or something similar? Gotcha. 6 poison. Start of your turn, lose 1 HP and draw a card. That sounds great. But is it though? Because I only have so much energy. Oh, there's so much cool design space in this game. Gain 2 strength. Additional damage to attacks. So strength is just a stat that I always have running. This game is super cool. You want to draw this early, I guess, is the problem. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Merchant. I don't really have a lot of money. Alright, I'll read more closely this time. Upgrade a card, upgrade all cards. Okay. Yeah, I was assuming that it would always highlight the change in green, like it does with the number upgrades. Maybe that'll be a future data change. Yeah, because the +2 is not colored in green, which is why I didn't see it. 3 strength, 20 damage, 3 vulnerable. 3 vulnerable would be pretty good. Then I have 2 turns to actually benefit from the bash. But I guess I probably want to end the combat faster than that. This is only for the rest of the combat, but it makes it fairly cheap. I guess the value of this is only really apparent if the combat lasts long enough that you cycle through your deck, though. Let me think. All non-attack cards. I missed that it said non-attack cards when I took it. Totally would use it to get rid of these strikes. So I'll take Inflame. Only for that turn, though. I have Yukupo, yeah. It's just that it's a shitload of work. Could probably get Jaden to do music and Paranormal Echoes to do art. Large hole in the ground. As you approach the hole, an enormous serpent creature appears from within. Most fulfilling your lives, that which you can buy anything. Unplayable. The end of your turn, gain 1 week. Wait, so that's forced to happen, basically? Yeah. Probably want to do a video game. Thievery. Steals 15 gold whenever it attacks. That's cool. It's a negative passive. When you end your turn with that card in hand. Okay. So instead of unplayable, it should be like it's forced to be played, basically. I get to steal my money back, so maybe they try to run away eventually. Exhaust all non-attack cards in your hand and gain 5 block for each. It's cute. If it costs 0, I might take it. Gain block and do damage. Seems pretty good. Keep on smithing. Yep, works for me. Does it continue to take up space in my hand after that? Bosses aren't fucking around. Holy shit. Okay, what's he doing? Tends to block on its turn. Okay. Which will apply basically for the next turn. After taking 27 damage, changes to defensive mode. That's cool. So you can try to plan out how much you're dealing. Destroy, destroy, destroy. And it's got 9 block. Interesting, okay. So I can gain the block and then use Sever Soul. But I don't have a lot of other options for deeps here. For blocking a bunch of damage I'm going to take. Mode shift. Ah, that canceled the action he was going to use. That's cute. I like it. Sharp Hide. Whenever you play an attack, take 3 damage. That makes sense. Flame. Good round for it. Let's upgrade Defend. Which I can then immediately use. Gotcha. And I can review... Oh, this is my discard pile. I thought it was going to let me see the enemy deck. That seems surprising. 8 times 2. Clever. So that matters sometimes. An attack for 8 damage 2 times. Which it looks like it's going to do indefinitely for the rest of the combat. Enemies don't use cards. Mode shift. Taking 37 damage changes the defensive mode. Attack 4 times. Should have done this in a different order, but keep that in mind for the future. Cool. Leave. So that seemed really good for these sorts of fights. Mode shift, nice. Yeah, optimal card order. I gotta think about it more once I've got stuff that interacts with it. So he's an attack for 9, so I gain my 7 block. Not a good turn to use Sever Soul, it turns out. I'm gonna waste some energy, but shit happens. Alright, so that's kind of cool because of the way the information works. I can see what's left in my deck at any time and have a decent guess of what I'm going to draw. Like, I know this is going to be my next hand. That's cool. Because I have a multiple of 5 cards. Alright. Let's see. Upgrade a card. I really like that upgraded card for the rest of the combat. That's pretty neat. Use that in the future, maybe not this turn. Let's see. I guess I have to. I can't block anyway, so I may as well apply the vulnerable. I'll take some damage, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about it. Draws are random. I like that you can make an informed decision, though. 19 damage. 14 damage. What's his deal? 47. Okay, so his mode shift gets harder and harder to trigger every time. Thus solving the problem once and for all. So mode shift. He's gonna cast a buff, so I don't need to worry about anything else. Yeah. This game is super great. I like it a lot. Alright, let's see. 7 block will avoid most of the damage from the turn. Oh, right, but because of this thing, it doesn't really keep that in mind. So I'll take 3. Cool. So also non-attack cards. I do 23 plus 9 is 31. Oh, so close. I'll beat him next turn probably, unless if he does some crazy shenanigan. Alright, let's try to wrap it up here. 13, 14. Dope. I love this game. I want to play it more. Is there an expected final release date? 12 block. Okay. Should have used my poison for that fight, but oh well.
We've got this, Marstead. Where? How? Where?
I thought vulnerable automatically got added onto the card text. Or because I can't do that if there's multiple targets. It would be nice if it did it automatically if there's only a single target. Exhaust your hand, deal 7 damage for each exhausted card, and then that's exhausted. Could be good. I wish it didn't cost 2 though. Juggernaut. Whenever you gain block. Now does a yellow card, are those like a rarer, more powerful? Alright, this is your Warlock, trade HP for energy and draw cards. That seems pretty good. Take that. Once you hover over. Gain energy at the start of each turn. You can no longer obtain potions. Whenever you open a non-boss chest, obtain a curse. So that sounds really bad. Now let's do... I'm not using potions right now because I'm bad, so... Yellow's rarity. I don't know, I can make a slightly more informed decision. There are fewer bonfires this time. Let's go on the question mark track. Block is not removed at the start of turn. Oh, that's cool. Way to make a defensive enemy. Negates 3 debuffs. Tends to block on its turn. It already starts with 37 block. Holy crap, okay. And that negated the debuff too, so I want to pop shitty debuffs on it. Yeah, this game is dope. Oh, I forgot I've got 4 energy now. Oh well. Yeah, I imagine +1 energy is really, really strong. 2 energy, which I can probably spend with much of the stuff I draw. I get the HP back. Let's see. Flame. Iron Wave. Four damage. See, it's only going to do 10 and I've got 12 blocks, so I can keep pumping the deeps here. Cool. Alright. Should be able to just kill him here, right? Sweet. Deal damage equal to your current block. I imagine this is a fun game to watch on Twitch too, right? Because you get that, it's slow enough that while you're watching it, you can make that mental, would I have made the same decision? The Hearthstone effect, basically. Deal 5 damage if the enemy is vulnerable, gain an energy and draw a card. Ah, so it's kind of a combo card. So it replaces itself, and so it's 5 damage for free if the enemy is vulnerable. That's pretty good. I guess you have to have 1 energy to be able to use it in the first place. 3 damage to a random enemy 4 times. Oh, and this already starts upgraded? Just a chance for that to happen? I think I'm gonna try Dropkick, even though I'm wary of taking, like, these cards are really attractive in card games because you're like, oh, it's a very Timmy thing to want, or a very Johnny thing to want. Like, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if that ever happened? But I feel like I have the ability to inflict vulnerable over turns. It would be uncommon that I would draw this card dead and not have any way to take advantage of it, so I guess I can always hardcast it for 5 damage, and that's not so bad compared to, like, Strike if I had no other choice. Thieves. Let's do this offering thing, man. What was I just saying? I have a hand now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that includes Dropkick and no way to inflict vulnerable. Son of a bitch! Didn't listen to my own advice. Dang it, Bobby. Oh well, shit happens. So we're still at 16 right now. Yeah, I think I have to avoid the damage. Oof. Flame. I love having the extra energy every turn. That's pretty awesome. I assume there's a character that just starts with that too. It's about to block. Oh, I forget I should have done Thunderclap first. Whoops. Still got him though. Terminate that tower. Obliterate the obelisk. I really don't like Anger. I think it's a trap card. Apply 3 weak and vulnerable to all enemies. Exhaust. 2 though. I guess 3 turns is pretty good. 9 block would exhaust a card. And that's enhanced. I guess I might want to exhaust a card. You can use exhaust to trash negative cards too, right? Like if I had a curse in my hand, one of the ones that just triggers at the end of the turn, I could exhaust it before it affects me and I don't have to deal with the effect. I'm a big fan of anything that lets me exhaust. Like, I also like that exhaust is something that it's on a per combat basis. I'm not used to that. I would have expected it to apply for the whole game. I like that much better. In an abandoned temple, you find a giant book open, riddled with cryptic writings. That seems bad. Learn something from Darkest Dungeon, it's never read. Let's try it. Ancient named Niao. Lose 1 HP. 2 HP. 3 HP. Alright. Miller's Codex. End of each turn, you can choose one of 3 random cards to shuffle into your draw pile. Like, 3 random cards? Like, random cards at all? Period? Or, random cards from my discard? That seems like that could be bad. Can I choose not from outside my deck. Can I choose not to take the card, or do I have to take one of the three? I guess I should just take it. I kind of don't want it. I can also decline, thank God. Okay, perfect. Then that's much better than I thought it was. Cool. Scanning the city, you notice a wall covered in the writing of ancients. Upgrade all strikes and defends. Yeah. Dope. Seems pretty good. Alright, what's their deal? This guy negates... I love that negates debuff effect. That's a brilliant PvE mechanic. I think Guild Wars 2 is trying to do something similar to that. Alright, let me make a decision here. May as well use this. Choose a card. Oh, you can get some pretty good ones here. Deal 10 damage if this kills a non-minion enemy. Gain 3 permanent max HP. What is it? Have I encountered a minion enemy? I only get one chance. 3 permanent max HP. Heal for unblocked damage dealt. I feel like this is going to have more value over the course of the entire game. Although it's only going to help me through a dungeon and not in a boss fight since it gets exhausted at the end. Okay. Minions are boss summons. Hey Cat, how's it going, man? How was work today, sir? It's a tough call between these two. The problem with feed is not valuable if it can't... Well, I guess it's still 10 damage if I hardcast it, but that's a waste if I do. Because you don't exhaust the card until you actually use it, right? Reaper has the potential to be valuable throughout the entire dungeon except for the boss. So I think I'm going to take Reaper. Oh, but it only lasts... Do I get to keep that card? I probably lose that card after this fight, don't I? So I should only take something that I can use in this battle. Oh, I actually just have it? That's pretty good then. Right, this guy negates debuffs, so... He's got 59 blocks, so we gotta take it carefully here. And then it will replace itself, which is beautiful. Oh, it didn't because Man, I'm a moron. My bad. Exhaust a card, start to return to 1 HP and draw a card, gain 8 block, draw a card. So Shrug It Off is a strictly better block. Okay. Running Pact. I guess I'll take that and then it'll give me a reason to get rid of a block next time it gives me a choice to delete a card. Frail. 25% less block from cards for 5 turns. Good God. Okay. Great, I see. Okay, and I did this because that was my only choice. Good job, game. Sauce the card. Gain 30 block. Deal damage equal to your block. Deal 5 damage to all enemies X times, where X is how much you pay. That's kind of cute. I like that it's, when I play the card, I can choose how much to pay for it, or does it spend all of my remaining energy? I feel like if it's the former, then that's really good, because all of it. Okay. I guess it's still pretty decent because I can choose when to play it, and I can almost kind of sort of get the same effect out of it. But it's bad against a single target. I think I'll take Impervious. Hope it saves me on the turn I need it to save me. Alright, let's see. Affected Strike can clear out its block. It's going to attack for a bunch here. Be a good turn to use Reaper, but block only lasts for the turn I use it on too, right? Save it. Oh, Reaper would have killed him. I forgot I had lethal. Yeah, my bad. Classic problem, right? You're like, oh man, I got plans. Like, you could just, you know, end the combat. That would work too. Draw Reaper. I did not. Too bad I didn't get to use Reaper. Next time, Gadget. Swift Potion. Thought I had a thing that said I wouldn't... Oh, I can't obtain potions? It eats it. I see. Power through. Add wounds to your hand. Wounds are unplayable status cards. Oh, kind of like Gabe's Thornwatch game. That's cool. Cost 0 this turn, exhaust. So it replaces itself with a random attack card, which could be Strike. It could be worse than Strike, but the fact that it costs 0 means if it's among any attack card, it's probably going to give me a good deal most of the time, I imagine. Well, no, that's not necessarily true, because there are a lot of attack cards that have added effects that might be bad, but would still cost 1. It can't ever be Strike. I think I'm just going to skip this one. Oh, this is an elite, I'm guessing. I'm at half health, which isn't super great. Alright, let me pop a poison. I should probably save these. Well, if I'm going to use it, now's the turn to do it, right? Taskmaster's the boss. Grid, exhaust a card. Get rid of my shittier strike cards, right? They're all the elite. End of your turn, gain 3 block. Oh, that seems pretty good if you trigger it early. Try that. It's again, it's only good on longer fights. Which is neat that you're making this decision between trying to build for long fights and short fights. Alright, flame. Should not have taken dropkick. It was a bad decision. I guess I could trigger it this turn, but I don't think it's going to create much value for me. I think. If I do 8 damage, this would then replace itself and maybe give me something good. Try it. Nothing particularly great, but okay. Gain 12 block. Whenever you attack this turn, deal 4 damage to the attacker. For 2, not as much. I like the flavor and mechanic of Berserk. So I guess it's not all cards were bottom up, some of them were top down. I don't think I actually want any of these. Skip it. This is gonna hurt. Gotta get a bonfire soon. Oh, I gained a wound. Gross. And I'm not allowed to attack when I have entangled. That sucks. Oh, this turn's gonna hurt. I'm gonna be almost dead at the end of this turn. Bummer. That sucks. Shuffle a Daze into your draw pile, unplayable status cards. So what's the difference between a wound and a dazed? guess Shockwave might save me. Alright, I might need to use this next turn to not die. We'll see what I end up trying. But I'm about to die. I'm pretty host, basically. Offering. Now's the turn to go all out. Because they're going to kill me anyway. I draw some not. Nope, I drew a bunch of shit. Bummer. So, I don't think I can kill them. Let me try to do the math here. I can shockwave them to get vulnerable. .28 damage isn't quite enough for either of them. Later loot effects. Got 4 I can do. So 18 plus 18 will kill one. I still have 2 left I can cast here. I might just barely win here. Oof. Yikes. Calipers. At the start of your turn, lose 15 block rather than all of your block. Oh, I like that. So, a lot of the times that's the same as losing all of your block, but sometimes you can really stack it. Cute. It's a really cool use of the block design, the discard your block design space. We already saw that with that enemy that keeps their block across turns. 12 damage. Place a card from your discard pile on top of your draw. I can choose any card from the discard. So that's good if I draw it late, and bad if I draw it early. I'll take another Shrug It Off since it's a strictly better block. So I can get rid of my normal block cards. What gets me on a path to a bonfire? Try a merchant, maybe I can get something that keeps me from dying. You'd have to build your whole deck around anger, I think, for it to be good. Card removal service, 75. Increases by 75 for the rest of the run. Cards with exhaust when played will instead discard 50% of the time. I actively don't want that. Raise max HP by 7, so it's just a one-time bonus, I guess. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Okay. Apply 3 weak, gain 2 strength. Oh, but I can't obtain potions. Guess this one's pretty good. And it gave me the health from it. It's nice. Quit runs and resume where you left off, like Hand of Fate. Take your card removal service, please. Let me dump some of these blocks. I thought I had 2 Shrug It Offs. I guess not. Sold out. Interesting. It's cool. I like the way shops work in this game. Not fight an elite after that last one. Kicked my ass. Right, they're all gonna use a buff. Draw 5 cards. Holy shit. Draw a card. I guess the block wouldn't carry over unless if I get a lot of it, right? Strike. Calipers. So cast 2 more. They apply 2 vulnerables and it have more value for me on later turns, I think, than trying to use Perfected Strike this turn. Pommel Strike, deal 9 damage, draw a card. So it's a strictly better strike that replaces itself. I guess I'll take that. the end of its turn, gains 3 strength. Yuck. Right, so I got to keep 14 block, which is pretty nice. Leave is 14 to all enemies. Should kill the guy in the front, yeah. I can still use strike. Kill this guy. The one with more health makes more sense because they're the same otherwise. Dope. Could have gotten a free drop kick if I had done a different order. What does ethereal mean? This is a cool way to let me try out cards before I choose to take them permanently. If it's in your hand, it's exhausted. Oh, that's cute. That's really cool. Man, they're really smart with the card design in this game. I like how the drawback is it compels you to use it when you draw it, even if it's not a good time for it. But that's worse than it just exhausting after gaining 10 block. This is a power. I could see building a deck around that, but use it or lose it. Very cute. Not those Reapers anymore makes me very sad. Flame Barrier can be upgraded any number of times. Interesting. So that probably doesn't start to become valuable until it's been upgraded several times. An upgrade just makes the number of damage go up over and over. For this one, I assume. I like a lot of the stuff they do with this game that only possible with a digital card game. The problem with me taking this card is that it kind of sucks until I've upgraded it at least twice, I assume. Because I can just choose not to use it, but then it's a dead card in my hand. Start each combat with 1 dexterity, improves block gained from cards. Oh, cool. Alright. So it's strength, but for block. I like it. I like how this game has really simple rules. This is such a cool idea of making a roguelike out of a deck building game. I should see if Djriarch has played this. He's like super into card games. He's a Magic the Gathering judge. Should be able to avoid damage. Won't be able to carry any over, but that's okay. What does the gelatin thing mean? Taking attack damage gains 4 block. Ah. So it punishes you for trying to attack it multiple times in the same turn. So you want to nuke it down with a really big attack. I like it. Like that one. Yeah. Block, block, block. Searing sucks. It's going to cast a nuke, so there's no reason for me to block, because I don't think I have enough to go over the threshold. Let me think, though. That makes it slightly less terrible. I really like that. That's super clever. Not Newtonian enemy. Whenever a card is exhausted, gain 3 block. Warcry seems a little bit better since it's just a cantrip that puts you a little bit more control over your next turn. I guess it's never... Okay, so let me know if you think this is correct. I think if you have a set of 3 cards and you don't want 2 of them and the third one is Warcry, it's always correct to take Warcry. There's no reason not to take it. It costs nothing, it replaces itself, and it puts you more in control of your next turn. So with this particular build, with this book, I may as well take it. Alright, let's see. 7 block, exhausted card. I don't think I'm going to use Offering this game. I shouldn't need it. I'm trying to recover health anyway. Ouch. And I'm going to take some damage here. 14. I'm going to be almost dead. I didn't really have much choice, though. Double your current block. Whenever you use HP from a card, gain strength. That's cute. Just design space that makes it a bad decision? Huh. Interested to see what that is later. Okay, I gotta kill him this turn. I did. Great. That gets eaten by my thingamajig. Combust, lose 1 HP and deal 7 damage to all enemies. That would get me killed. Demon form is a really... Oh, it's gain 2 strength. So if you cast that on the first turn, that's the tits, basically. Iron Wave is a better block, especially once you've upgraded it. I think I'll take Iron Wave. Alright, I'm gonna die this fight. I already had the vision of the Monado. Block. That'll make me take no damage this turn at least, so that's cute. I do have 4 energy, but yeah. I feel like if I didn't draw it on the first turn, it wouldn't be quite as useful. Strike. Yeah, I'm good. Good timing for subblock. Right? Strength buff, gross. Okay, so the vulnerability... Drop kick, man. Rough. Very, very rough. I tell you what. So I'm going to be down to 4 health after this. Oof. Oof, owie. Guess I could use this. Oh, it's already too late because I'm at the choose a card stage. Oops! Well, next turn I can try to save myself. We'll see. Yeah, I could see that demon form being ridiculous or a Timmy trap. It's going to do 24 damage. So I can get up to 19. I think I can totally block the damage. Should have used Shrug It Off first so I had a better choice of what to block. 18, 21. Isn't enough for a kill. And I'll get to carry some of this block over to next turn. Oh no, I won't, because enough of it's going to get lost. Oh well. Block no longer expires. That's not going to win this fight. Guess I'll take Reckless Charge because I'm not going to draw into my discard anymore for the rest of this fight. Whenever you gain a card like that... Oh, never mind. Guess it goes right there. It's fine. 19. Hey. Cute. Armaments, Rampage. Increase its damage by 5 for this combat. I like that card. Although I guess that's only really good for boss fights. The fact that it only costs 1 makes it competitive with Strike. Take Shrug It Off. Yeah, imagine Rampage really good if you can get your deck to be really tiny. Sweet. It's a Snecko. It's kind of cute. Fucking dropkick. I said exactly why it was a bad card when I drew it. And I took it anyway, because I am a fool. Alright, that brings us to time, folks. And you said if I save and quit, it'll pick up from this fight next time we play, if you keep it on subblock. I really like Slay the Spire. Really, 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 really like this game. Lots and lots and lots. Thank you for sharing it, Retro. I'll be back in a little bit with Cat's game.